Hi, this is Nancy Kuykendall with Author Life, and I'm talking to Dr. Katha Jones today. And we are going to talk about her book and her successes with that book. I'll be showing her website along the way. We're going to let her tell us a lot about her. This is having to do with what I call an author spotlight featured author interview. And we are going to start with just mentioning, I'd like to mention, well, first tell me, Kata, you are where in the world? Tell us where you are.
I am in Merida, Yucatan, Mexico. Although
Okay.
I was born in Austria and I lived in Australia for 30 years, so it's pretty international at my end here.
Yeah,
Yes,
you've been around a little bit. I saw
yes,
some of that in your website information. And we became acquainted. Well, this is actually the first time we've spoken, but we've become acquainted through a website that we both use called Tertulia. And there are many authors that have gone to the Tertulia website platform, I guess you call it, and are enjoying that platform. So we want to say thank you to Tertulia, and getting to meet other authors and share books. I really like to share other authors' work in their books. And Dr. Katha Jones here has won the Literary Titan Gold Book Award in October 2024 and December 2025. Is that correct?
yes.
And she's going to tell us more about what that is. She also was voted Best Neuroscience Trained Leadership Coach in the US. That's correct?
Of 2025,
Oh,
yes,
2025. Okay. So
yes.
those are some special things that she has done or won with her book. And so she's going to tell us a little more. And the first question we have is just like, tell us about yourself. And you can include any information in there you want. You've told us a little bit already, but you can share more, whatever you'd like.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, I keep it brief. I had quite a diverse professional career, and becoming an author is sort of um, the final end bit, if you like. I'm a neuroscience trained executive leadership coach, an energy psychologist, and now award winning author. So that's me in a nutshell, and the keynote speaker who travels internationally to share my methodology and leadership psychology with leaders around the world.
That's a lot. So
Yes,
you've gotten to see a lot of the world, more though, more so than I have, and maybe more than many people. So the book, this was your first book, you said,
yes,
and I believe it was published in 2024.
yes. In March 24, correct.
So if it was awarded the Literary Titan Gold Book Award in October 2024, that was pretty quickly after it came out.
Yes, it was.
So, well, the next question is, when did you first begin to write and when did you first publish? So we just said when you first published, but you could tell us a little more about how that book came to be, if you like.
Sure, I would love to. Well, where do I start? It took me 1.5 years to write my book. And I've written this book in Sydney, Australia, where I used to live for 30 years during the worst time in my life because the COVID pandemic has actually destroyed my international training
Oh,
organization in alternative medicine. And one day I woke up and I had this idea that I could write a book to help the world express more of their human potential. And the brief was for leaders. So I always wanted to write a book for leaders because I've been in leadership positions and running 3 businesses. Um, so, yeah, this is how my book came about. But it was a very difficult task because at the time I was extremely depressed. It was 2020, 2021. I won't have to go back into history. We all know what happened around the world. And it was a period of extreme stress for me. And I'm really relieved that I managed to finish it because it almost didn't come into life.
okay. In a way,
Yes.
it was therapy for you then to write that?
No, it wasn't
No,
therapy. No,
no,
writing a book is never therapy because it's a lot of hard work.
it is hard work.
And when you're feeling depressed, writing a book is, I don't recommend writing a book. But my mission and my vision was, I should say, to write most of the knowledge I have gained in my professional career to make it available to more leaders around the world in a more digestible, digestible form. And I truly believe I have achieved this vision, which is obviously reflected in the award the book has won. It was read by an independent committee of 6 or 8 people I've never met. I don't even know this committee, and but this was the brief and my vision to write this book.
And the book's title, I will say, is Think Outside the Box, Tap into Your Creative Genius Zone, and Solve Problems Fast.
Yes,
Okay, so I like the title, Think Outside the Box. I try to do that myself. So
I think we all try to do this on a daily
yeah,
basis these
we're
days.
sort of
Yes,
forced to sometimes to do that on a
correct.
daily basis. And
Yes.
so this is your first book. So um, do you have plans? This is one genre of book. I guess we would put it in like a self-help category. What category do you list it
It's
under?
a little bit more than self-help. My book
Yeah.
is actually a practical blueprint for unlocking human potential. And it's using applied neuroscience, which is a huge field of my expertise, and leadership psychology. So it's a little bit more than self-help.
Yes, maybe more of a scientific leadership book, just like you said.
Yeah, it's a practical guide
Yeah.
for unlocking human potential and to help leaders navigate change, uncertainty, and even periods of crisis and transition with clarity, confidence, and creative intelligence. So, this is quite a powerful mix.
Yes, it does sound like it. And I didn't see like how big the book is as far as pages, but I could tell from looking at the chapters that there's a lot in there.
Yes,
There's a lot to
there are
read.
10 chapters and there are 267 pages.
Okay.
And my book has been written by a few locals here, architects, lawyers, artists, all sorts of psychologists. And one of my readers here in Merida, he's a retired architect from the US. He said to me, "This is actually 2 books, Carter, and you should reconsider, renaming it." But yeah, as I said, my vision was to write one good book. I had a big name to lose, and I truly believe that the testimonials I've been getting over the last couple of years prove that my vision has been accomplished.
Yeah, that's quite quick actually, because sometimes we put out a first book and it's a while before it's really found or catches on if it does. And so yours was found and acknowledged very quickly. In my point of view, it seemed like it was quickly.
Well, thanks for the
Yeah.
compliment, Nancy.
Yeah.
But I was at work here in Merida. So my husband and I moved from Sydney, Australia, after 30 years. We're Australian citizens to Merida, Yucatan in October 23. And then shortly after we arrived, actually March 24, I had a big book launch party here and was obviously engaging in the cultural and literary scene quite a lot for
Okay.
various events. So I've been promoting my book in person a
Yeah.
lot. And I think that also helped me gain traction faster than perhaps other authors.
Right. Every book needs promotion, and some of the person to person promotions are the best ones. Often.
Absolutely.
I think
And
so.
I prefer one to one because it's most powerful. And my book launch was actually an interactive workshop with 50 local locals like Mexicans from the local art scene and gallery and literary scene, as well as experts who from the US and Canada and other parts of the world. So I always present by giving people tools to walk away with. And I enjoy that kind of interaction with my
Yeah.
audience.
That's great. That's really nice. It's nice, you know, here we have in our town, it's a small town, we have some annual events where we can take our books and meet people, you know, as we sign for them, sign the books. And sometimes you don't know, but I just received an email the other day from someone who said, I met you and bought a book last year in November at the big event that's here in town. And I thought that I don't remember her by name. I don't know her, but you never know when you meet somebody and get to speak to them and share your books, you know, what they might get from it or what kind of relationship you might build with somebody. And it is nice one-on-one to meet people, you know, when you do that and
Absolutely.
offer what you have. I mean, you have a lot to offer here. So
Absolutely.
to offer
And
people.
yes, and you never know how you affect someone in real space. And we all live in this online world now. I think people crave the to meet the author and to have an energetic interaction with the person who wrote that book.
Mhm.
I think that's really, really important.
Mhm. I know when I get a book, I like to immediately look up the author and learn something about them. Go to their
Yes,
website, look them up online. I like to see an author photo. I like to see a bio. I just like to know the person behind the book. And
absolutely.
I mean, sometimes authors I've read, you find out many things about them that had nothing to do with their writing, like they're in a whole nother career, you know, and they're very interesting. You know, some people are just so interesting in what they do, including you. So it's nice to know the authors and not just have words on pages, you know, to know the person
Absolutely.
behind it. So let's just say you probably have said this in a way, but if I just said what inspires you, we know what inspired you to write your book, but what kinds of things inspire you to continue sharing the book or maybe write another book? Do you have plans to write another book
No,
at this time?
to write another book ever, because my book is complete on its own. And as I said, it was kind of, um, I hadn't even planned to write a book. It was sort of, my book came into life in a crisis situation. And I truly believe there is no sequel to my book because the 10 chapters really contain powerful techniques and strategies that will change your life. And you don't even have to be a leader. Anyone could potentially read my book and improve their relationships, their communication styles, in their personal and professional relationships, as well as become more creative in how they approach a difficult situation, or when we need to come up with plan B to solve a problem. So
Mhm.
no intention to write another book.
Well, there doesn't always need to be another book. You know, the reason for writing comes in many forms and reasons. And I'm a firm believer in Plan Bs. Through my life,
Okay,
I'm
well,
always
who
like,
knows?
if you're going to do this, you better have a Plan B in mind because what if that doesn't turn out the way you're expecting? And so I'm a firm believer in Plan B.
Okay, I stay open to your suggestion. I
You know?
agree. You never
Oh,
say
not that
never.
you need to have another book, but sometimes oh, this didn't even apply to writing, but when I was a music teacher and I would go to the school to go into their classroom where I would have classes come in, I would get there and they'd say, "Oh, that room's not available today. You're going to have to do it another way." So I always had a plan B, you know, for that, but maybe not with books necessarily.
Correct. And I've been teaching for decades as well. And then if plan B doesn't work, you need plan C. But I
Yeah.
think I haven't answered your question, what inspires me. So
Okay.
basically, I've always worked with people all my life in various careers across Europe, Australia, and North America. And I love people. I get inspired by helping people, and in this case, leaders and entrepreneurs, to unlock the human potential. And by doing that, making them better leaders who are able to inspire and create change, much needed change in their companies, in their businesses, and in their world of influence. So, this is my inspiration to share these powerful human skills, human centered leadership skills with leaders, entrepreneurs. And anyone really. My book has been read by mums as well and by mumpreneurs. So not everybody needs to be the executive or the CEO of a huge company.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what inspires you is inspiring other people.
Sorry, what
I
inspires
said,
me?
what inspires you is inspiring other people.
Correct. Yeah, because
Yeah.
to see this butterfly effect, this ripple effect, like this is very powerful, especially during these uncertain and volatile times we live in. And it's kind of my book has been written for humanity, really. So after I've read the six proof before we went into print, I read it with my own eyes on a screen, 260 pages. You try this 6 times in a day. I don't recommend it. Um, and then in the end, I realized that I have written this book for everyone, not just for leaders, which was the initial brief, really. That has been accomplished, but anyone can read my book and learn some powerful tools and life tools, really, that will transform your relationship with yourself, your creativity, your problem solving capability, and the relationships you have with the people you live and share your life with.
So it's for everybody, all walks
Yes.
of life. That
However,
makes
I
it,
didn't, yes,
yeah, go
but I
ahead.
didn't know that when the
Oh,
brief were leaders, but
uh-huh.
in the end, a year and a half down the track, as I
Okay.
said, when I've read when before I sent the email to the printing company, we can go into print with this version. I realized it's actually much bigger than that. So it's for everyone. Yes.
Great. So that answers the other question I had here was what is your greatest aim or joy in authorship? And you just
To
expressed that.
elevate people, to give them
Mhm.
tools so they can improve themselves, express their potential, and create magic in the world, and
Mm,
lead with emotional intelligence, with inspiration, and leave the world a better place.
that's great. I'm going to share your website and let people have a look at it. So let me get it up here. Whoops. Okay. I want that there. Let me unshare for a moment so I can reshare it. There was a little error there. Okay, can you see that, Dr. Kata?
I can't see anything. I only see you in the screen, but I have a copy of a hard copy here
Okay,
in my room. Let me
okay,
know
show that. Just let me go ahead and
if
show it, and then maybe we
if
can
you
try and
click
share.
on the button Learn More, it will take you to the book. Because there's a link inside the website to the
Okay,
Amazon site. Yeah,
1 second because
take your time.
the sharing is there, but learn more. On your website, learn more.
Yes, and there's a
Oh, I
button
see.
which
Mhm.
will take you directly to the book cover
Okay,
and the synopsis.
okay. I hope others are seeing this, but I'm certainly seeing it, but that doesn't always mean everybody is. So I would like you to let me go out of there for a minute. If you will hold your book up again,
Yes,
you had it.
here it is.
Yeah, it's a great cover, and I read about that cover. You want to tell us about that cover before we run out of
Yeah, I
time?
would love to. Well,
Yeah.
I'm married to an international artist, Professor Mladen Ivošević. And this painting, he painted a long time before we met in 1983. It's called A Picture of My Soul. And during the Balkan Wars, because my husband was born in Sarajevo, former Yugoslavia, a lot of his paintings were destroyed, including that picture. And 10 years later, he repainted her from memory. Again, we haven't met at that time yet. And when I decided which cover to put on my book, I couldn't really find anything suitable on the internet. And one evening he comes home after work, and I ask him whether he would agree to put this painting on my book, and he was so happy because it's really the perfect synergy. Um, I want to share another story here. In
Okay.
Nahuatl, the native language in Mexico, where we're living now, is called Nahuatl, and they only have one word for writer and painter. So it's the same word
Oh,
in the Nahuatl native language. So when we decided to put his painting on my book cover, it was sort of another level of revelation, like how magical this creative process has been for me and him. So yeah, now we have created this unique book, and yeah, writer and painter is the same word in Nahuatl.
and
So
that's
this means
interesting.
a lot to me and him.
Yeah. I'm going to try to share one more time because I want to see. Oh, that won't work. I want to try it one more time if you will hang on with me
Good luck. I'm sending you
because
positive vibes.
I thought of something that maybe I missed and I'd like to share your website or maybe some way I can fix it. Um, do you see it now?
No, I only see you on the screen, Nancy.
Okay. So it's not letting me see the other share button. Okay. Well, I don't want to waste time, but I'm sorry. I wanted to show your
That's
website.
okay. I have another, I would like to hone in. I just hold it up one more time so
Mhm.
your
Just a
listeners
little
can,
higher so they can see your name. Yeah. It's Dr.
yes,
Katha Jones.
yes.
And I think your website was kathajonesauthor.com, correct?
That's correct, yes. And
Okay.
this image, so I just hold it up because it's a
Hmm.
shame you can't click through, but yeah, technology. So basically, my husband was obviously very depressed during the war. And when he painted this picture, she's sitting on a pedestal, which looks like a box. And I'm not sure whether this comes across through a screen, but she's
Hmm.
in a reclined position, like almost like in a protective body posture, shutting herself off from the world, from all the bombardments and the problems and seemingly unsurmountable obstacles. And then there is a beam of light coming through
Hmm.
and sort of warming her soul, if you like. And this image is really a representation of the inner struggles we all go through at some stage in our lives. And, we need to find our inner mojo, our inner motivation once again, walking through very difficult phases of change, transition, and metamorphosis. So, this is what's in this image. And eventually she opens up and starts enjoying life again and achieving the next step in her evolutionary journey. So this is sort of a archetypal metaphor
Hmm.
inside this painting.
It works really well for the book. I mean, just looking at it, I think it works really well for the book.
Thank you.
So, yes. So tell us before we go, we will be running out of time in a moment, but your book can be found online and
Yes, it can
where
be found on the Tertulia website, kathajonesauthor.com, or directly on Amazon. It's published in three versions, hardcover. I recommend getting the hardcover because the image obviously comes out much better and the book lasts longer, obviously. Because I do believe that my book will be read more than once. It's not a book you read only once. And then you get a paperback and then the Kindle version as well.
okay. Okay, great.
Mhm.
And on the website, actually for this, you can, just so listeners know, you can go to the website and order it through Amazon, or you can even go directly to Amazon because a lot of people do that.
Yes,
They go directly
yes.
there. So it's easily found. We know that. If you're on Amazon, you can be found. And I think we are going to have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for talking to me and sharing this book, and I will be sharing it with others.
It
So
was my
thank you so much.
pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Nancy.
Yes, nice to meet you through the internet.
Yes.
Okay,
And we'll see
bye-bye.
each other again. Bye.
Okay,
Have a
bye-bye.
nice day. Bye.
You too.
Thank you.